What's good, Cowboy Nation? Welcome to Enough with the BS podcast, the Dallas Cowboys edition. Yeah, I said it. This is going to be an all Dallas Cowboys show. Nothing but the star here, baby. It's only going to be me, your boy Tyler Butler. For those who are new to the show, may not be familiar with the podcast, I do a podcast called Enough with the BS. It's me and my brother Josh Smith. And we discuss an array of topics in the NFL, NBA, Olympics, you name it, we pretty much talk about it. I mean, we talked about fatherhood, single mothers, depression, suicide, all kind of topics, but we relay them back to sports. But this right here, this is going to be something a little different. This is going to be all Dallas Cowboys. Something I've been wanting to do pretty much from the very, very beginning of time. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fanatic. Josh is a Carolina Panthers fan. Unfortunately, I live in South Carolina, but we're not going to ever discuss the Carolina Panthers on this show unless the Dallas Cowboys are playing against them. But this first show, this introduction is pretty going to be introducing you guys to myself. We're going to break down what went on from last year. Going to go into the draft a little bit. Expectations for this upcoming season. Get you guys ready. Man, we're going to discuss all kind of stuff. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, McClay. We're going to be talking about the coaching staff, players, merchandise, ticket sales. The fight that goes on in a parking lot between Cowboy fans and haters such as the 49er fans. We're going to be talking about idiots running on the field like they players or something and getting a stone cold stunner from the security guard. And as long as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to talk about it on this podcast because this is our podcast, Cowboy fans. Something a little different. You got your NFL network out there. You got the Dallas Cowboy app. But to me, none of those shows really give you what you need from a fan perspective. The diehard fans, the passion, the anger. You don't get any of that from none of those shows. But my show is different. I'm going to bring it to you. I'm going to bring you the real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm going to try to keep it clean. There may be a few cuss words that slip out here and there, especially after a loss, or lo and behold, another injury. I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. But to me, that's what made the show great. I don't rehearse. I hit record, and I just go at it. But, even if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan or not, we're going to start this podcast off by playing a little soundbite that pretty much wraps the entire season up from last year. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's going to be what I call 40 seconds of pain because listening to this soundbite again brought me back a lot of tears. So here we go. Let's kick off the show with this.
Going to be a receiver. They don't handle the ball a lot. He's better as a receiver within this scheme. In the slot here. Romo loses the ball. Jordan Hicks knocked it out. We'll see who got on top. Billy. And did the Eagles need that? And Romo is down. Looked like he might have grabbed his shoulder. We talked about him coming in a little gingerly because of the back and the hit he took last week. The rookie gets pressure, and then Big Fletcher Cox goes down on him too. They check on Romo. The Eagles get a much-needed turnover as they take over at their own 39.
My God, I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate them. Can't stand them. They're going to be garbage this year, by the way, and I can't wait. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to taking back over the division, and it will happen. We're going to get into that as well, but last season, that pretty much summed it up. Romo went down, Dallas went down. But I mean, coming off a 13-3 season with a blown catch away from going to the NFC East Championship game for the first time in a long time, 2015 was full of high expectations. Except for me. I wasn't too thrilled going into the 2015 season. Why, you may ask, especially coming off a season like that? Well, the reason why our offense was so potent the year before was due to a man named DeMarco Murray. We let him go. Just let him go. Contract negotiations, I don't know what went wrong. Apparently he wanted a little too much. I know running backs are not valued in the NFL no more. And one could say, after looking at him in Philadelphia, that Jerry made the correct decision. But I mean, with the loss of the workhorse who assisted in the blocking scheme, and that was key, DeMarco picked up a lot of blitzes coming along, especially a lot of people running around dog free. DeMarco was the one who pretty much cleaned all that up. And not only that, it allowed Romo not to be, pass happy. It allowed Dez to see a lot of one-on-one coverage. And another key loss that a lot of people just seem to gloss over for some reason is when we lost Bill Callahan, the one who pretty much molded the wall of Dallas, also known as the O-line. He turned them into that dominant juggernaut that they are today. But with all of you're going to be the head coach? Well, you're going to be the offensive coordinator too. Nah, you're not the offensive coordinator. Just be the running back coach, the running game coordinator. Callahan was like, I'd had enough of this crap. I'm out. I'm going to Washington. Look what Washington running game looked like last season. They're pretty darn good. But losing Bill Callahan, I mean, that hurt me dramatically. Now, Jerry, good old Jerry came up with this brilliant idea that anybody could run behind this O-line. And, he was halfway right with that decision because they did rank 9th in the NFL. But clearly, guys, McFadden, Dunbar, Joseph, Mr. Meat on the Bone, Mr. Gucci Guilty, Mr. I'm Guilty, Randall, and others showed that wasn't the case. We were really, really missing DeMarco last year. Like, really, really missing him. And one of the keys, DeMarco was great on third downs, guys. Dallas was ranked towards the bottom in the NFL on third down conversions. I guess you can attest that to DeMarco, or you can attest that to not as an aggressive Darren McFadden. Dunbar is not big enough to pick up those third and short. Now, he was great doing the passing game. Like, excellent. Before he got hurt, he was one of the leading receivers, which that says a lot, if you ask me. If your running back is one of the lead receivers in the team, which we're going to get to that as well, because that makes absolutely no sense. But another thing that pretty much ruined us last season, I want to say that Dallas is cursed by the football gods. I swear we've been cursed ever since Jerry said he put a hole in Texas Stadium so God can look down on the Cowboys. I really think the football guys looked at that as a sign of disrespect and decide every single year one key player from your team is going to get hurt. Think about it. The last season that Dallas went 13-3 and we played the Minnesota Vikings, we lost Andre Guerrero, the center. And they had to throw in this makeshift center, and Tony Romo got ate alive during the Vikings. And we were flying high that year. A lot of people blame that on Tony Romo, but if you lose the key person on that offensive line at that time, which was Andre, He went down with an injury. Nobody picked up the blitz after that. Tony Romo got destroyed, and we lost. This year, we're coming off 13-3 again. Again. Tony Romo goes down. Dez goes down. And the freaking curse continues, man. We lost Skandrick in training camp. Our best corner, gone. All of the weed charges with McClain, and we'll get to that momentarily at all, but just, to go into a little bit for the offseason, the offense. Now, with Romo out, you kind of knew what to expect. I really had a little bit of hopes for Whedon. Don't ask me why. I just did for some reason. I figured, that this is his second year in the system. He played with Dez Bryant. Maybe they got a little bit of rapport. I was wrong. I will admit to that. But I had absolutely no faith in Castle, and the hell with Kellen Moore. Wheaton should have won a few games. I think Scott Linehan deserves a little bit of credit for the play calling during those games. But it was when Dez went out that had me the most puzzled. Terrence Williams disappeared worse than Art Briles doing the Baylor allegations. Devin Street looked like he needed to hit the road. Bryce Butler, he showed flashes, but he couldn't serve up any TDs. Really not his fault. I thought Cole Beasley had a very solid season, but he's not a number one target. And I want to say he bulked up a little bit. I was reading that he was did a lot of off-season work with Randy Moss, but he's not Randy Moss stature. He's more like Welker. So I mean, maybe Randy helped him out with route running. I don't know if he bulked up, but I love the guy. I think he was, out of the collective group, had the most promising season for last year. Now on to the defense. I think that Rod Marinelli deserved a freaking Man of the Year award. Despite having players suspended and the loss of your best corner, Barry Church was banged up a little bit. Excuse me, guys. And then we had that cancer from Carolina named Hardy. Despite all the hurdles, Marinelli helped that defense to be 19th in the NFL. And the year before last, when Dallas were 13-3, that 19th ranked defense from last year was actually higher than the 13-3 team. So, say what you want to say about the D being the weakest link. They played better last year up under Marinelli is one hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. I'm curious to see what he's going to do with the defense this year. We got a lot of young guns. But hey, that was last year, a thing of the past. Let's talk about the future. Now, one aspect of the Dallas Cowboys no one can really question is the brilliance of Will McClay. Him in the scouting department has been very, very solid as of late, especially when it comes to drafting. Now, last year, they drafted Byron Jones in the first round, who played corner, but he's going to be a major upgrade over Will Cox at the safety position. Will Cox, one of his weakness, his mini weakness, if you ask me, was he missed a lot of tackles. But the main one is his coverage was god-awful. Jones should be able to improve the secondary in that aspect. And also, they had a really good pickup with Collins and Chaz Green, the offensive tackle out of University of Florida. I've been saying for